Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome virtually to our brand new CB2 headquarters here in downtown Chicago. My name is Sammy Barr. I'm the Vice President of Marketing for CB2, and I couldn't be more excited than to share with you all the great work the team has been working on to bring you our newest collaboration the last couple of years. We've never actually previewed a collection before, except for the media. And yesterday we had the opportunity to take our media partners through the collaboration, and they were so excited. And we truly value all of our partnerships with each and every one of you, and thank you for your business. We are truly invested in the trade community, and we want to make sure that we continue to add value to your business and each and every day when you work with your customers. This exclusive look is just one way in the coming months that we'll be unveiling some new things in the coming years for you to add value to your business. Speaking of perks, I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget to mention that you can use your exclusive trade design 20% off appreciation through the end of August. So make sure you take advantage of that. We're about ready to meet Ryan Turf, our president and visionary behind our brand, and our newest collaborator. They're going to take some time to walk you through the vision behind the collection and a couple of details on what you're about ready to see. You'll see a little chat box in the corner of your screen. Don't be shy, and make sure to ask any questions that are on your mind. We'll do our best to answer those at the end of the session. And if we don't get to them all, we'll make sure to respond at a later date. I said at the beginning, this is the first time that we've actually done a sneak peek into a collection before the public actually sees it. So we want to make sure to include you in helping us to keep it quiet before tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So hold your Instagrams, hold your videos, and you can help us spread the news as well tomorrow. So now, the moment you've been waiting for. I couldn't be more excited than to share with you our fall 2020 collaborator is Mann. She is a celebrated interior designer with high accolades. She brings an incredible eye and a great vision to design. She was such a delight to work with and brings an incredible passion and enthusiasm to our collection. And I can't wait for you to see that come through in the next few minutes. So with that, I'm going to give you a little preview of what's to come.
I would describe the collection as casual, sexy, and soft. I like a contrast, whether that is in the palette that I'm choosing or in just sort of the energy that two different pieces could evoke.
Hi, I'm Mann. I designed this collection with CB2, and we're actually sitting here in my living room shooting today.
Morning, everybody. Sammy, thanks for the intro. It was excellent, actually. I'm Ryan, president of CB2, and super excited to be with all of you today to welcome and preview the amazing collection that we worked on Kara with. Kara, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Holy moly, I can't believe I'm here.
It's here.
This is here. It's just so exciting. My mind is blown. Totally.
It's blown.
Blown, yes, absolutely. It's crazy, seriously.
Well, nice to see you.
Yeah.
6 feet apart, of course.
Yes, totally.
But thank you for being here, and I think this will be a first for a few of us and a few things. First of all, I don't interview people, so let me know if
I don't really
I'm not
do
really
this
good.
end of things either.
Okay,
So we'll,
great. So
we'll do
this
this
could
together.
be awkward, and we'll
Yeah.
go back and forth, and hopefully somebody gets something out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so we met a couple years ago. Had a drink.
Yes.
I think you had a couple too many that night. No, just
Most
kidding.
likely.
Just kidding. Just kidding. I don't even think you drank, but.
Had to keep it professional.
But I do remember that conversation at a great time. I think we were talking a lot about the collaborators and our partnerships and how we choose them and how we get together with them. And as you know, we've partnered with very inspirational brands, aspirational brands, Kravitz and Goop and GQ, and I mean, I just put you in same sentence with Lenny Kravitz. So.
I'm dying because you just don't get hotter than that.
But the point is, I think it's really for us, it's about finding somebody that truly inspires us, whether it's a brand, a designer, a person, and you do that. And I'm super excited to bring your unique eye and super talented approach to design. So thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm going to start with my interview
Okay. Let's get serious
process here. Okay. So let's talk about. Let's go back to that first
That
drink.
fateful
Yeah.
night.
Yes. Exactly. in kind of in your words, like how the collaboration came about, and why'd you want to partner with us? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think I told you that night that I've had this like long time love affair with CB2, and it's both personal and professional. And we talked about the movie time sofa, which was, I think, honestly, the first sofa I ever actually purchased. Like, I had so many hand-me-down sofas throughout my family. It was like the only piece of furniture in my living room for honestly longer than I should admit, since I'm a designer. But I just like, it was always a go-to for me. Like, you guys are always kind of on that edge of design. And so, I'm always intrigued to see what's coming next from you guys. And so, I think too, with my team and our clients, like, you're a constant go-to. We always find like just those little nuggets that make a room really special. And I think that you guys are a special brand, and you bring something totally unique to the retail world for design. So
awesome.
It makes our job easy.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
So yeah, but like, I want to talk a little bit about collaborations, because I've been thinking a little bit, like, why am I here? This is so exciting. I think you have mentioned these insane collaborations that you guys have done. So I know why I love the collaborations that you guys do, because it keeps it super fresh, and you like pull from all these different genres and people. But what makes it important for you guys as a brand to bring these collaborations in?
That's a good question. Maybe we should reverse here. Okay.
Yeah, I don't usually do the interview. This is fun. I'll take your role, actually.
So I'm gonna use an overused word here, authentic. And it is overused, but I truly do believe in that word and how we approach everything we do, but specifically these partnerships. I think collaborations and partnerships obviously is something that's been very hot and very heavy for the last over 5 years, and there's been some great ones and some not so great ones, and and I think for us it always comes back down to authenticity, and why do we want to partner with that person or with that brand, and going through these brands, and even the ones we've talked about and not talked about, it's always been very inspirational to us. A brand like a Fred Siegel brand is I remember being 15 years old in Los Angeles, walking into Fred Siegel and thinking it was the coolest thing.
What is this
right
place? Yeah,
and that's how that partnership started, right?
That's cool.
And, and the same thing with a lot of the other brands. With you, I think funny enough, you are one of my out of work, one of my favorite interior designers.
Thank
and
you.
As I said yesterday, you have to be one of them.
Yes.
As my wife is an interior designer.
Yes, I will.
And if she's watching this, would be awkward.
No, totally. So we'll keep it at that.
You're up there,
yeah,
just not top.
I mean, truly honored, clearly. So.
but joking aside, I just love your approach to design and interior design. It's obviously a passion of mine, and you really approach it in this fresh and cool and a little bit edgy, but totally approachable, fun way to design.
Cool.
And so I was excited to meet you and excited to work with you. So
awesome.
How's that? Does that help?
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right, let's go back to me. So the collection's aesthetic.
Yeah.
How would you describe that, and then what can the designers and the shoppers really expect?
So I would definitely say it's kind of all about this idea of the art of the contrast. And I think that's definitely been something in the way that I've approached design. Everybody sort of has their take on what they like and what they see. So my world is kind of lived in contrasts. And so that comes out through my design. I think that sort of, as you mentioned, there's like this kind of like tough layer, a little grittiness to it, but then there's like an overlayer of like, I would say kind of a romantic flirtiness, I think, which makes it kind of fun.
Sure.
Go there with me.
Okay.
Go there with me. Let's see. I also think that there is, definitely in all of my design work, there is this kind of play between masculine and feminine. And I
Right.
love that. I kind of love putting those two things together and feeling that tension. And then I think really for me, it's like the attitude, which I think you kind of addressed. And
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the way to talk about it, which is always hard, but I sort of thought about it as like this luxurious nonchalance. So I think, go there with me again.
I'm fine. I think I'm fine. I'm with you.
So hard talking about your own design. But, I do think that I love elegance. I love simplicity. But there's also this attitude about the collection that's just a little bit like whatever,
Yeah,
it's
whatever.
like easy.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I like that balance
Right.
between the two.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I live my life.
Yeah, and that's how we go too.
Yeah,
I love
totally.
that part.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's, I think
So
what
you
we
brought
have
me
in
back.
common.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Let's go to inspiration. After aesthetic, like, starting with your inspiration for this collection, and I was involved in the process a bit, but probably not as close to it as some of the other people. And how'd you feel overall about the design process and obviously your inspiration going into that? But
Yeah.
how did it go? I guess.
Well, so my inspiration is kind of fun and funny. So I was like, okay, you gave a really long leash, which for a designer can be like amazing, but also terrifying at the same time. So I
Right.
was like, oh my God, what am I going to do with this collection? So I went back and I thought about the first room that I ever designed, which was my high school bedroom. And so I was a teenager in the 80s, and the 80s have a real look about them. And I really just went back to that bedroom. I thought it was so cool. I did 2 different wallpapers. It was black and white. It was on point for the 80s. So so it was pretty cool. And then that came to life. I presented it to you guys. I presented the concept. You guys have been so amazing and kind of just letting me and my team run with that idea. And just the whole process, I think seeing how you guys work for a designer is it's like such invaluable experience. I can't even tell you. It was so amazing, and we learned so much, and just the pace with which you guys work is insane. Like, I don't know how you guys do it and then like get up and do it again. It's bananas.
It is. And it's I think it's really cool to work with somebody like you, because you're in such a kind of different world, same world but different world, right?
Yeah.
And to get into the design, the high design of your world, but to try to bring it more to the masses, I think is a process for both of us to
For
do,
sure.
and I think it came through really well. So so on that process, and get a little deeper, the materials. So I think for CB2, we're very, very passionate about, obviously, about design and the details in design, but what makes those details, I think, special are the materials, and how we really get into that, and how can we bring things that are fresh, to the market, and are able to execute your vision, but also fresh. So how was that experience with materials?
So I think that was probably one of the most interesting parts of the collaboration. So it was tough because, I do come from more of a luxury market with my private clients and some of my commercial work. And so, you're sort of given this like candy tray of all these really beautiful, luxurious materials. And so how do you take that and produce it and manufacture it in the time frame that we were working within, and really the price point that we're working within? So that was a big challenge. And I think like what was so cool about it was that you pushed us and we pushed you. And I think that that's what made this collection feel, at least in my eyes, really amazing. So I think of things like the pitted platinum that we did. I mean, I've carried around this little sample of metal from this French company that I love so much, and it really came through. It like feels like this hand forged like cylinder in this really architectural table, and we paired that with this marbled resin, which is really cool and so like durable, which I think is a huge question for families all the time. I have this obsession with Danish cord and just like how elegant and natural it is, and so that was a hard thing because it is delicate, but the way we paired it with those very like tubular industrial frames on the bounce chairs, I thought was really, really exciting. And then that ruffled credenza, like I started with that just thinking that like I knew the shape that I wanted it to be,
Right.
but I didn't know the material. And so I was struggling, and I was like, it can't be lacquer. It just feels too kind of poppy and Regency. It can't be wood. You'd like miss the whole point.
Boring.
So boring.
Hopefully there's no wood in this collection.
I mean,
I'm
it
just
was
kidding.
like, I'm like, there might be. Wood is wood. So, gotta use it sometimes.
Totally. It's a pretty good material. Let's
But you guys came back to me and talked about the sprayed concrete, which I've been teasing that I want to like spray my world in concrete. Now it's like the coolest finish ever.
Yeah.
And it made that piece come to life because it has those sexy curves.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, historically concrete can at times feel super heavy and dark.
It like makes no sense
yeah,
in this piece,
but in that white color and in your design, I think it felt super fresh and, and cool. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was fun. And I love the resin too. I think resin's super durable and something we haven't used a lot. So,
but there's like an elegance because it's like marbled, so it feels like it's like a notch up, which what I think you guys do so well is you're like really kind of taking everything like design at that retail level up a notch, which I think is super cool.
But then finding those right materials, that can work hard and perform at the same
which everybody
time.
wants. Like designers are always like, oh shoot, it's got a function too.
So when you lost me a little bit earlier on the art of contrast, let's go back to that.
Yeah.
So why did you choose the art of contrast as seriously the anchor of the collection?
Yeah. I think it's just authentically who I am. I mean, it's kind of what I just said. It's like, it's that teenager I was that I don't even know why as a teenager I wanted a black and white room. And to like the designer I am today, everybody teases, they're like, if I meet a client, they're like, you're not going to paint my bedroom black. I'm like, no, I swear, like I can do other things than just black and white, although not with this collection. But anyway, so,
Awkward.
I think there's contrast in obviously the palette, the black and white. There's like the contrast that we just talked about with the materials, which I think is, super special and unique, natural and industrial, refined, but kind of edgy. And then I think too, hopefully just people understand the attitude, because I think that there's definite contrast in the attitude of the collection.
Yeah, I agree. I think it has a really strong attitude.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's got some too.
Yeah. So could be your easiest question, could be your hardest question, but what are some of your favorite pieces?
Okay, so hands down is the Flutter sofa, which I know was a little bit of an issue in the beginning when I mentioned ruffles.
It's fine. I love ruffles. Like it's all over my house, so we'll span to that after this.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to call your wife on that one. No, I absolutely adore the Flutter sofa. To me, it's first of all, it's so comfortable that like that alone is so exciting. But I do think that it's completely like refined in the lines. It feels very modern. It feels kind of architectural, very tailored. But then to have sort of that kick of the ruffle just makes it, I think, a special piece in the collection. So that's definitely hands down my favorite. It's already like in my head, in my living room. I love it. I also love the ease chair and ottoman.
Mm-hmm.
So I love a chair that you can kind of snuggle into. I think that the profile on that chair is so beautiful and simple with that like elegant curve. And we worked so hard on that curve. I can't tell you.
A few emails on that curve.
Oh my God, yeah. I was like, this is how this makes it. But it's also like, it's a very chill chair that can go in a living room. I think it can go in a family room. It would be great in a bedroom to snuggle up and read a book in. So I think it's really versatile.
Yeah.
So I love that piece. Wait, but what about, I want to know what your favorite is, or
well, obviously any of the stuff with the polka dots or the ruffles.
I knew that, so like we didn't even have to talk about that. Clearly.
Joking aside, the upholstery. I really do think you did an awesome job on the upholstery. I think the sectional, the stitch sectional, is one of my favorites. I think I'm gonna purchase that for my home.
Amazing.
And main reason, you're welcome. Main reason is I think sectionals are, and really with a lot of upholstery, it's just there's a ton of choice out there, right?
Yeah.
And you're not going to reinvent the wheel with
it's
sofas
so hard.
and sectionals.
Yeah.
They should have some arms, they should have some cushions.
Yeah, they should be comfortable.
But it gets down to the proportions, the design, the details, and obviously the fabric. And I think, I just think finding a good-looking sectional that can still hold up and perform, with a family, is something hard to find, and
Yeah.
I love that. And the same with the sofa we're sitting on. I think it's a classic, inspired by the classic Chesterfield sofa, right? So
Yeah.
I think to me that is the icon of a sofa. Is the
It's like you don't
Chesterfield.
get better than that. Like
So-
you
right.
can't beat it.
Can't beat
so,
it, so
yeah.
just play with it.
Yeah.
And you kind of reinventing that, with the pleats and just very streamlined and fully upholstered all through the legs is super exciting. And I think, I'd love to in the future, look at different sizes of this piece too. So
Ooh, that would be cool.
yeah.
But I think like a good thing that you bring up is like, we kind of, we're presenting a really neutral palette, like just whites and light fabrics. Like how do we make the buyer and the designers feel comfortable with purchasing a white sofa? I mean, everybody gets a little nervous.
Yeah.
But they're so good. Like white sofas are so pretty.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard for me to do upholstery that's not white, which might surprise a lot of people. I have 3 young kids, but I think you look at the fabric and you look at performance fabrics, which I think are making huge strides.
Insane.
And I know that that sectional will be offered in a performance fabric. But 5, 6, 7 years ago, it was very hard to find a performance fabric that didn't look like a performance fabric.
Yeah. You're like, well, you could do this, or you could just deal with it getting beat up. Totally.
I'll just clean it.
Yeah, totally.
Thanks, guys.
I'll live with it. It's like a beautiful leather jacket that gets worn in.
I think offering performance fabrics is a big part, but white sofas, can scare people, but I think they're absolutely beautiful, and if you pick the right fabric.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's how I present it to my clients too. So I think that's why I feel good that this is where we landed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about that there are some first times here. First time me doing this. But there's a lot of firsts in the collection. So, for designers specifically, obviously, how'd you keep them in mind with this collection?
Well, I think what's really cool about this collection is that you guys are scaling up your rug offerings.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going up to a 10 by 14, which for a designer is amazing because, there's nothing more heartbreaking than finding that perfect rug and then you're like, oh, but the biggest size is 8 by 10 and you need that 10 by 14, and finding rugs is hard. So, so I think that's amazing. I also think, this custom program that you guys are doing. And so I worked with your team to kind of select a big array of curated fabrics. And, as designers, we all love to do our thing and play with things a little bit and present new ideas to clients. So there is the opportunity to customize a fabric on the sofas, which is such a cool first.
Well, it's such a big part of your world, I'm
oh
sure,
my God,
right?
it's like you have to. I mean, it's a miracle and amazing when you do find that perfect sofa in the perfect fabric and you can just do it.
And you
but
can just order it.
But having the option is so important to our business for sure.
I think it's going to be great for us to obviously speak to our audience and but just everyone, to be able to really come with product, with an eye honestly like yours and it should feel really special and unique and custom, whether it is technically custom or not.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Okay, so back to the sectional, and I think I talked a little bit about the upholstery, but and so have you. But overall, we had some conversations, and how I thought you could help. I think our upholstery collection, but how did you kind of approach it in general? Your sectional sofas, chairs.
So for me with upholstery, I think it's so key what you said. It's like upholstery is kind of tough, right? To it sort of is what it is sometimes. And so I think it's those little details that make something feel really special and unique and make you want to get it and make you want to show it to your client, and get them excited about it. So when I think of the sectional, which is one of my favorite pieces too, it was that really simple channeling that we did. I think makes it really unique. It's almost like a quilting. It was really important we worked through that detail together. So I think that makes it special. Also, just everything's meant to feel really comfortable and loungy. People love to just sit back, kick back. Everybody's especially now, just like home with your families. So
A lot of time,
bad.
a lot of home time.
Yeah, so having that really comfortable upholstery piece, sofa piece, I think was really important. Even like the straight sofa that we're sitting on, like you mentioned, I mean, it is just a classic form,
Right.
but we really tried to add that beautiful specific detail to each piece. So to me, it was the rolled arm, the pleats, and then what you mentioned, just that it's fully upholstered, I think is kind of unique.
Yeah,
So
it's all about proportion, comfort, right?
Definitely.
Still look cool. Yeah, and I think, for the fun I had with you on the ruffles, I do think that sofa
it is going to be
beautiful.
A big
No, it
head.
is. It is. And I don't think my job is to talk down any of your product, which I'm currently doing.
It's okay. I have faith in that piece. I do.
I do.
Because I'll probably buy them all.
You did a great job on the proportions and the set, and it's a really super cool sofa. All joking aside. All right, so I'm gonna give you one last question, and then we'll open it up to some audience questions. But and I think this is a good one. So styling tips. So like, what styling tips do you have for the designers? Incorporating these pieces, obviously, into their projects for their clients.
Yeah. Well, I think I do think something that was intentional with the collection was sort of this neutral backdrop. So both stylistically and in the fabrics that it was offered in. So for me, I feel like most of the pieces could really go, I could see it in a more classic or traditional space. So for that designer that, gears a little bit more that way, I feel like, you would have a home for these pieces, where if you were more modern, I think a lot of the pieces could go in a space too. So, go with your gut, I think there's a playfulness about it. I think there's a universal, whatever I'm trying to say, take on each piece. So I think that they can go in a lot of spaces. One thing that I personally like to do is I like to design for the seasons a little bit. So I think you can do that with this neutral backdrop. So, if it's spring and summer, I like to add lighter pillows, different fabric weights. Winter, I tend to pull out my faux furs and things like that. So I think that you can have a lot of fun styling that way. But I mean, you guys are all designers, so you're gonna totally bring your own mojo to the game.
Right. Yeah. I think you helped them out there for sure.
So
I don't know.
Me either.
But thank you. I'm super excited.
Thank you so much. This is a dream come true for sure.
Okay. Do you want to take a couple questions?
Yeah, for sure.
Let me start with the first one here. Where do you draw your inspiration from? What are your favorite places to travel to find inspiration?
I mean, I think I've been known to draw inspiration from fashion. It's always been a big thing in my life personally. So I've, always pore over fashion magazines, but I do get so much inspiration from traveling, which I know we're not able to do right now. But, I love going to Europe. I especially love France. I think that there is something about the French attitude that I love, in both design and their lifestyle. So I would say Europe. And I think when I'm thinking about traveling in the US, I love the coasts. I love New York and all its vibrancies and going up in crazy elevators and finding cool places to shop. And then LA, the way you're just cruising around, and everything's more at a retail level. So, I mean, those two cities to me have such depth in what you can find and search for. Because it's a lot about the search.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. How long have you been working on this collaboration, and what has been your favorite part of this experience?
So I think we've been at this for 2 years since
We've been at it for 2 years.
Since that first blissful cocktail where I had too many. And honestly, my favorite part of this whole collaboration has been absolutely everything, which sounds like the stupidest answer, but it really has. I mean, to be a designer, everything. To be a designer, to be in this position with such an amazing, high profile retailer is true, it's insanity. It's so exciting. It's a dream come true. So that, from the beginning, and just the process between the two companies has been so cool. It was always a joy when I knew it was on my calendar to work on the collection during the day. So that was really cool. And just, I think seeing how you guys work for a designer, I mean, you guys bring it. It's your team's amazing. you know your stuff,
Yeah.
and that like we felt really supported in the whole effort, and then to be here today is like insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome to hear, because I
Yeah.
know we try that, very
Yeah.
much with our.
I mean, I
collaborators,
don't. It's and
It's cool.
how you guys churn stuff out and all the crazy collaborations.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
It's
impressive.
definitely a lot of
my
work behind the
friend.
scenes.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing was necessarily easy, but
No,
everything
it
was
wasn't,
very
it
exciting.
wasn't all butterflies.
No.
But we did it. All right, so this is a great question, I think, obviously for our audience. Why do you
Yeah.
think this collection will resonate with designers in particular?
Ooh, I mean, I just hope it resonates with designers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess just speaking to, I think there is something about it where any piece could go in any interior, I feel. So I hope that resonates. I do think, I hope I brought sort of that world of that luxury market to a bigger mass, and that people like things faster these days. So being able to like get things quickly too, I think is so important, and that's what's so great about shopping retail. And hopefully it has, a fresh take on at least some things I love, and that it's a fresh look for some designers out there.
Yeah, well, I would hope it resonate. I mean, it's what you do, and you're pretty good at it.
I mean, I try.
So if it doesn't, it's gonna be awkward.
Yeah, really. I mean, don't call me.
Like,
Don't call me.
designer sales are way down.
I know.
So
I'll be like, I'll be calling any designer friend, like, please buy
just
something.
buy it, please.
Please,
I'll pay you
Ryan's
back
gonna
later.
kill me.
That was fun. All right, so let's do one last question
Okay.
here, okay?
All right.
And then we gotta go.
All right. Yeah, gotta run.
Okay, so how do you see your business a year from now in terms of design direction changing for your residential clients, more retail focus sourcing? So I think is that for both of us? Yeah, you can.
I mean, I think it's changing now. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
think
would agree.
people, I think it's just going to become deeper and deeper. And I'm not saying that made to order luxury market is going anywhere. I just think that the retail end of things, because of companies like CB2, has really like elevated the shopping experience for designers and for end users. So.
Right.
So I really feel like, residential clients, it's also, you still have places that you can go see the products, which is really important for clients.
Right.
So I just feel like it's just going to keep growing. And I think the offering too, what you guys are doing and some other companies is so much greater, and it makes that piece of our job that much easier.
Yeah, and I think, it's with obviously such a challenging year, but we're in a business that is top of mind, that for people because they are at home, and I think it's cool to and exciting, and in such a tough time to have that challenge to hopefully make people excited and smile and happy about their homes, and feel really passionate about expressing their personalities and.
It's been so interesting, I think, and so strangely exciting at the same time that home is becoming such a focus again.
Right.
I mean, it's always been a love, obviously, of ours, but but I think that more people are beginning to understand its value, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
I think there's
We have
a
a
fly in my
friend.
thing. So let's just thank everybody,
thank
for
you.
for hanging out, and I think hopefully, it's awkward for us. We're sitting in a room by ourselves.
So weird.
But hopefully the conversation was fun, and I did have a good time talking to you.
Me too.
And I just want to honestly, I just want to thank you so much for you and your team's hard work, and it's finally going to be live tomorrow, and
so crazy.
Super excited to check it out, and it should be fun, and hopefully people agree and find it fun and fresh. And
thank you so much for the opportunity. It's really been
Anytime.
a dream come true, like I said.
Thanks, Kara.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.